Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to today's helping of Harmonize to Energize, which is actually going to be again on Safety Energy Lock number 7 due to the fact that I muted myself last week and so we didn't get a good recording of it. My humble apologies. I hope you will enjoy covering Safety Energy Lock number 7 once more, those of you that were on that call. Truth is, in my experience, each time I read or experience the energy from these safety energy locks, there's pretty much always something new that I learn, something that I absorb. So let's again have a look at safety energy lock 7, where it is on the body. And that means I need to get the slide. And there it be. It's there on the pad of the big toe. And in Mary's understandings and study, she says 7 came into the universe meaning victory, a perfect life power. And as some of you will know, I've referred to a reference book that I know Mary used, Paul Foster Case on the Tarot, A Key to the Wisdom of the Ages. And in this particular definition by Paul Foster Case, he describes the card which represents key 7, the Chariot. You probably couldn't see that, but anyway. He says the Chariot is the usual title of key number 7, or the Charioteer. It really represents the king in his triumph, typifying the victory which creates kinship as its natural consequence. And Mary says 7 came into the universe meaning victory, a perfect life power. Further on in this discussion by Paul Foster Case, he actually talks about the 4s. And he talks about how the energy from the 4s, the universal energy, he actually describes as the starry canopy representing the celestial forces around Safety Energy Lock 4 at the back. These descend into the physical plane through the activity of the 4 elements. It is the cause of all external manifestations. Well, you know from what we've discussed that Mary talked about energy coming in through the 4s, down through the 15s, and then finally to the 7s on the big toe. And Paul Foster Case goes on to talk about how the 4s, or the the idea of the development of energy moving down the front of the body, really relates back to that whole heavenly realm where we have our thoughts before they manifest as deeds. And you could look at the 4-15-7 pattern as thoughts become words, become deeds. And the victory is when those thoughts have manifested as deeds, when we've brought our ideas from heaven, heaven the head, through the 15s to the 7s. The earth, we've planted them, we've sown the seed, and it's become a reality. The question, of course, is what is the purity of those thoughts coming from those connections with the celestial realms? We have a choice, and our subconscious filters or doesn't filter out negative impulses. And if we allow that to happen, the negative impulse will go through the 15 to 7, and that could manifest too. But 15 wants us to have joy and be filled with laughter. So those 3 safety energy locks remind us they're like filters bringing in that light from the celestial areas and reminding us our thoughts are very important, particularly the quality and the values we bring to them. And if we allow them to go through the potential, the positive potential of the 15, it can bring joy, happiness, and laughter to the 7s. And so it's no surprise that Mary gives us a self-help of holding the 15s to help the energy to go to the 7s. She also says, by applying the jumper cable, we can recharge or run down our energy battery, release tension and stress from the digestive functions, and of course the head. Discomforts helps chest, digestive, back, hip, head. She then offers us an alternative self-help recharge, which is actually holding the ring finger. And those of us that have studied the relationship of the energy locks on the fingers will also know that Safety Energy Lock 4 is here. So we're actually getting 2 for 1. We can actually harmonize Safety Energy Lock 4 and 7 when we're holding the ring finger. And as I've suggested before, those of you who would like, you can hold this mudra, which is the ring finger alongside the thumb. And that will capture 4, 7, and also with the thumb, the leader will expand and open our thoracic cavity to allow that light energy from the 4 to descend through the 15s. The final alternative self-help that Mary gives here is the 15 and the opposite 2. So you can put one hand on one 15, so for instance the right 15, and then the other on the opposite 2. What are we doing here? We're imitating the mediator. And really, even if we bring harmonious energy from heaven through the 15 to the 7, on its way back from the 7-15 through the 4, we need to purify, because sometimes there is a distortion and an imbalance left and right. We haven't quite got our subconscious patterns harmonized. So this would be a great, if you like, shortcut for a mediator, 15 and opposite 2. So we'll do as we usually do, 4 sets of 9 breaths, going through these self-helps to open Safety Energy Lock number 7 on the pad of the foot, on the pad of the toe. So let's begin. And for those of you that couldn't see in the little image, here are the 15s. We'll begin by holding the 15s. Keep your back straight as you can. If not, just get some support for your back. Relax. Drop your shoulders. Bow your head slightly. This allows more energy to come through the 4s. And be the smile. Ding, 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 ding. This also helps open the 4s through the connection with the sternocleidomastoid muscle. Exhale. And as we exhale, we're dropping dirt, dust, and greasy grime, what we don't need from the shoulders. Sinking down, down, down through the 15s, being filtered and allowing the energy to be built on the basis of joy and laughter, and reaching the 7s, victory, perfect life power. The earth, Mother Earth, the supporter, turning us into a recycle, purifying that energy, and allowing it to move up the spine, back through the 15s. And of course, now we've introduced the idea of the 15 and 2. As the energy is going back up, think of it in terms of going back up through the 2 as well, because the 2 is an ascending Safety Energy Lock, and then back to 4. Let's begin. Here we go. Closing eyes, block out unnecessary sensory connection. Exhale, drop the shoulders. Allow, 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 allow. Surrender. As the energy reaches the 7, it turns around, recycled into purified cosmic energy, goes back up through the spine, through the pelvic girdle, 15, 2, up to 4. 8 more times. And remember, this release of energy and purification is in your own time. No competing, no comparing. Spirals of beautiful light entering the body from the celestial spheres, reaching Mother Earth, being replenished, revitalized, purified, and ascending up the back of the body through the twos, back to its gateway at the fours, the window that lets in more light. So when you've reached the 9th exhalation, inhalation, just sit in that spaciousness which relates to our understanding of the 9th depth, that zero quantum field, the no thing. Emptiness. And just be the observer. It's in this space that the transformation can take place. We're giving ourselves a breathing space to allow the exhale and inhale, which have been building and purifying, to come to a holding, development, renewal, rebuilding, oneness. You're not the same person you were 9 exhalation inhalations ago. So for the second set of 9 exhalation inhalations, we can hold the ring finger. You can check which finger, just investigate, do a little bit of detective work on each finger to see which one might be a little tighter than the other. And you can either hold either one, or you can hold both together in this mudra, thumb and ring finger. Place in your lap in those 15s. And we begin another cycle of 9 exhalation inhalations. Here we go. Building and purifying to rebuild and repurify through cycles of 9. So we're allowing that energy to go down through those energy locks as gateways, as filters. And also don't forget, we're moving energy or allowing energy to move through the spine, 6th depth. Now, what if 6 turned out to be an aspect of 9? What if 6 could be perceived as our personal 9th depth, particularly after we've built and cleansed? We become the oneness, the spine. It's one part of our being. It represents the two sides of the body melding together. Well, what do you think the 9th depth represents? When we're one, we have no thing to need. There's no duality because we are everything and nothing. Some say it's not material, it's ethereal. I don't know. I just know it's a sense of wholeness, completion, oneness. So when we reach that 9th exhalation, inhalation, just slip into a neutral space and witness that sense of oneness, wholeness. Observe. Be aware of your thoughts if you have any uplifting thoughts or less uplifting thoughts. Where in your body do you feel some resistance? And let's just notice it, no judgment. Because you're allowing the energy to do the cleaning up, the rebuilding. So the third self-help practice that Mary showed us was the one hand in the 15 and the other hand in the opposite 2. And like I said, this allows mediation. The energy pathway is crossing over in the body, and the mediation again is bringing left and right sides of the body into the oneness, the spine, the 6th depth, and allowing the 9th depth to percolate through 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for us to be happily in our body. So holding whichever side feels comfortable, whichever 2 and whichever 15. So remember, it's the opposite. One hand on the right 15 and then the left hand on the left 2, or vice versa, whichever works. And begin. Exhale, drop shoulders, smiling, allowing, surrendering, building. And then reaching the 7. 7th heaven reaches earth. Interesting. Can heaven come to earth? Yes, it can, through our thinking. Our subconscious filters cleanse, purify, rebuild. Moving through exhalation, inhalation. A complete whole body breath. How does that feel? Crisscrossing left to right, right to left. The binder, the mediator. Some say the Holy Ghost. I don't know. I just experience and let it be. And as you're exhaling to build, feel the connection with Mother Earth through these sevens. Feel that victory. You've moved through the filters of the subconscious, uplifted and purified. That's victory, isn't it? Or it's a form of victory. Mary calls it perfect life power. You might also consider it perfect willpower. The will to manifest. The will to be. So when you reach that ninth exhalation, inhalation, just again slip into the neutral space, the wholeness, the completion, the end of the cycle, beginning of a new. And just again observe. How are you feeling? Don't intellectualize, just experience the feelings and observe. With this practice on a regular basis, you may find many of your limitations, bodily or otherwise, beginning to transform. As more light spirals into your body, it burns through some of the limitations like a laser beam and allows cosmic purified energy to fill your spine, that stairway to the fours or to the heavens. So now we do the last set of 9 exhalation inhalations, and I like to be grateful at this point and give myself, in the broadest sense of the word, a hug. That self which is beyond the personal self, the impersonal self, all complete, the 26 on the edge of the shoulder blade here, and the thumbs under the shoulder girdle, connecting with the 22s, or 144,000 special functions in the body. For what we have received, may we be truly grateful. And you could say Amen, because R is an inhalation sound, or encourages an inhalation. Amen. Letting go. As we move to the matter, the R to the matter. Heaven to earth, earth to heaven. 9 exhalations, inhalations. Here we go. Spirals of light. Building the new, build with joy. Inhale and purify. Up the stairway. Up the ladder to the roof. And those wonderful verses from songs. up the ladder to the roof, where I can see heaven much better or clearer. I wonder. Beautiful, 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 joyful, uplifting energy. As the Beatles once sang, you can't buy love. The stairway to heaven cannot be bought. It simply is. It's a journey of transformation, purification, building and letting go. Becoming one with our soul, which is one with the whole universe, the whole cosmos, in this understanding. Oneness, completion, wholeness. And in this fourth cycle of exhalation, inhalation, this is an opportunity, if you wanted to use your will, to drop an uplifting, harmonious thought into your subconscious, down through the 15s to the 7s, to manifest something uplifting in life, maybe your life, others' lives. Just favor the positive, favor the uplifting, and watch the negative, which is normally based, usually, ultimately, in some kind of false evidence appearing real, some fear. Let it go, like water flows down the mountain, down to the valley, down to the earth. Let it go. And then the primal fire that wends its way up your spine on the inhalation, purifying, strengthening, revivifying, harmonizing. What could be better? So when you reach that ninth exhalation, inhalation, you've completed another journey. And like I said at the beginning, you're different from the person you were at the beginning. And so the journey continues. So thank you for sharing today. It's always my pleasure and joy to share Jin Shin Jyutsu self-help. It's very much a part of my life. I want to just briefly show you what's happening in the Jin Shin Jyutsu program world. What's going on? We'll share the screen here. And here on the homepage of www.jsjinc.net, you have the menu at the top and online events. These are the main events that we're teaching at the moment, and all the different subdivisions, all the different titles. But on the homepage, you can see by clicking on each image here, the Zoom study groups, the self-help meditations, the We Are One. And coming up this weekend, 11 o'clock Pacific time, 2 o'clock New York time, Ian will be doing a 2-hour webinar on the elements. And if that is something that draws your interest, then I encourage you to register for that. Click on that, you can see where you would register. Just down below, the elements, sign up here. And you always get a replay within 24 hours. And those of you that attend live will always get a 15% discount off of store materials, excluding the webinars and the ebooks. So that may be something that you would like to enjoy. Go right ahead. Oh, there it is, registered today. Then Sarah, with her husband, is doing a 5-day self-help class beginning October the 13th. Sarah and Stan, organizer information here. Students sign up there. And Margaretti with a study group in Spanish, and Carlos and Wayne, a study group in Spanish. Then we have Susan doing a 5-day basic seminar beginning October the 22nd. And just for your information, where you sign up for that, just for your information, those of you that are asking how you become a practitioner now that the classes are mainly online in the US, the reality is that if you do 2 online classes plus 1 live, you will be considered eligible to be an authorized practitioner of Jin Shin Jyutsu by Mary Burmeister Institute. So someone's asked if it's possible to pay via PayPal for Ian's class. I believe it is. Please write to info@jsjinc.net, and I will put you in contact with someone who might be able to facilitate those of you that prefer to use PayPal. So I've put the email there, info@jsjinc.net. Shoot us an email and with all your details, what you're looking for, and I'll connect you with the webmaster and the administration so we can see what we can work out for you. Anyway, I think that's it for me. And thank you again for coming to share with me today. Auf Wiedersehen, au revoir. See you soon. Practice, practice, practice. If this gives you delight, practice will bring progress. Enjoy the rest of your week. Stay safe. Exhale, inhale. Bye for now.